first of all, I would like to welcome everybody that has joined us for this Lunch and Learn on Croatia. I'm excited about it. It's one of my favorite destinations, so we're happy you've joined us. In just a minute, I'm going to turn it over to Alberto from Leonidas. He and his team are who I use exclusively for Croatia. They do a fantastic job. They're basically like having me in the country, but they're better because they know it better than I do. But anyway, we'll get to that in just a minute. One note I do want to make, if you have questions, at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a Q&A box or a chat box. So please type your questions in as we're going through the presentation, and Alberto will be answering those at the end of the presentation. So Alberto, I'm going to turn it over to you and take us on a journey through Croatia.
That's exactly the purpose of this lunch. So I know you also had some bad weather those days. Traveling on this virtual trip will make you go to your travel advisor and ask her to book immediately your next flight to Croatia and also Montenegro, because I will be telling you some secrets about Montenegro as well. Let me share for this occasion my presentation so I can give you some visual example of how beautiful our destinations are. So that's right, Lisa, we are an extension of your office in our beautiful destination, and of course we do our best to offer the same level of service that you provide your clients with. And we have an amazing team of 15 people from different nationalities, and I'll tell you more about this. They are really your guided angels when you are traveling through our beautiful destination. And exactly, we are from each city that you see on this map, and we can customize amazing and very well curated travel itinerary according to the instruction that Travelex International provide us with. We are B2B. We work only with this valuable travel agency. Today, I am going to take you on a trip that combines Croatia and Montenegro. And I will start in Istria. This is the new hot destination in Croatia. You will be hearing more and more about this destination, and you will want to go so bad. This heart-shaped peninsula, and the word says all. Heart shape is a perfect honeymoon destination. It has the flavor of Tuscany and Provence. It's surrounded by pristine water, and the inland is just breathtaking. We will be staying a couple of nights in this amazing new hotel, Icador, on the east side of the Istria Peninsula, which will make it a perfect base to explore the wonders of this land. The inland is made of villages rising on top of hills like Motovun, like you see in the picture. And the coastline is spotted by picturesque and colorful town like Rovinj. This land is full of ancient Roman sites and UNESCO sites. It's a perfect destination for outdoor lovers. You can cliff jumping, e-biking, or just take an easy hiking. Or maybe in the evening, we can arrange a batana ride on the shore of Rovinj. It's quite intriguing. Remember, there are three main currencies in Istria. The first one is olive oil. This is one of the best regions for organic olive oil production in Europe. And we can take you to some very fun people who make this to perfection. The second currency is, of course, the wine. And here is the land of Malvasia. And you can really go wine tasting in more than hundreds wineries in this area. And of course, the third currency is truffle. This is the second largest area in Europe after Piedmont for truffle. The best season is September through November. October is when you could find a white truffle. And trust me, if you find one of that size, oh, well, you can extend your trip for an additional 10 days. And of course, now from Istria, we need to move south. We have a 4-hour drive to Split, the gate of Dalmatia. Of course, thanks to our amazing driver, we will make this drive very smooth, and we will stop halfway in Šibenik to experience the first Michelin restaurant in Croatia. I'm not a big fan of Michelin restaurant, but this is really something unique, and it combines all the flavor of this beautiful destination. And once we get to Split, of course, we can stay at beautiful Villa Harmony. A couple of nights in the residential area of Split with locals all around. And of course, Split is an amazing ancient city that can bring you back in history in a split of a second. It's completely built inside the former Diocletian palaces, and the flavors and the food and the wine here is just water-mouthing. Of course, in the evening, we can experience maybe a private dinner to experience all these delicacies of Split, and we can have some clapa singer performing for us. Late at night, maybe a visit of the basement of the Diocletian Palace. It's quite shivering. And of course, the city itself offers vibrant nightlife that we can enjoy. Split is also the gate to the Dalmatia Islands. And of course, we'll be using a private boat to go on a trip to explore the best of these islands. So as you see from the map, we will sail from Split. The first stop will be Brač. Then Hvar, we'll have a visit to the Blue Grotto in Vis, and our trip will end in Korčula. We will disembark on the opposite side of Korčula to experience the Pelješac Peninsula, and then we will proceed driving through this peninsula all the way to Dubrovnik. Are you excited? Are you ready to come with me on this trip? All right, so Brač is our first stop, where we can really enjoy authentic and unique experiences like a pekka cooking, which is the slow cooking process under the iron bell, amazing beaches, art galleries, wineries, olive mills. We can really fulfill your day in Brač, which is absolutely underrated. Of course, the next stop will be Hvar. It's the Ibiza of the Adriatic, but more classy. It offers a variety of things to do, but of course we will also explore the Blue Grotto in Vis with our private boat. We just ask the skipper what our feeling is for the day, and he will adjust it accordingly. And of course, Korčula, it's a little Dubrovnik, but less crowded. So let's overnight on board of our private boat in the equipped marina of Korčula, or maybe we can follow the suggestion of our skipper and decide to spend the night on board of our private boat in a secluded cove. It's up to you. Of course, there are plenty of things to visit on these islands, lavender fields. We can do some off the beaten track with SUV exploration, or just enjoy the pristine water that surrounds all these amazing islands. And why not? We could really pick the most unique spot for you in case you are planning to propose. If she says, or if he says no, there is no refund, unfortunately, but I'm sure with this setting, it will be an easy yes. Yes, you can have this privatized for you only in the middle of olive groves, enjoying this wonderful sunset. And of course, it's time to leave the Dalmatia Islands, and as I told you, we will disembark in the Pelješac Peninsula, which is a very interesting area. The best wine, the Plavac Mali, the small blue comes from this area. And it is not like the gentle hill of Tuscany. We need SUV to explore the vineyards of this area, and it will be quite exciting. There are also plenty of experiences that we can enjoy in this area, like a scuba diving, to go and see how some wine is preserved on the bottom of a lagoon in the Pelagos Peninsula. Or we can sail on a typical wooden boat and reach a place where we can pick our oyster directly on spot and taste it on spot. It is a unique taste. And now, of course, Dubrovnik, the pearl of the Adriatic, the Renaissance city built entirely in stone, surrounded by imposing wall. For those who are still fanatic of Game of Thrones, we do not remove the wall after the season. They stand, and they really enclose a treasure that needs to be visited. But also the surrounding of Dubrovnik are quite exciting. We will explore them comfortably by staying in our wonderful Villa Dubrovnik, which has this Capri style. Really, this area, if you are familiar with Amalfi Coast, has nothing to invite to it. And I really invite you to travel on this beautiful destination and compare. Of course, amazing views and outdoor activities, kayaking, paddling. It's all possible directly from the private beach of your hotel. But of course, we need to go into the old town, and we'll take you there with the right guides, those who can, design the perfect itinerary so you can skip the crowd and enjoy the uniqueness of this city. Of course, in the surrounding, there's a lot to explore, and we can do it on a buggy safari. Why not? After getting the cable car from Dubrovnik downtown, we can go up to the mountain and explore this amazing area with breathtaking views. And of course, back to Dubrovnik for our last night. Why don't we maybe privatize a small table on the walls for a private dinner, or a private terrace that overlook all the roofs, the red roofs of this enchanting town. Or we could enjoy a sailing during sunset around the wall of Dubrovnik. It's all possible, and it's all customizable and according to your wishes. Now it's time to leave Dubrovnik and drive to Montenegro to explore and discover the best kept secret in Europe. On the way, we are gonna stay at the one and only. It's just 1 hour and 15 minutes drive from Dubrovnik. You need to have your passport ready in hand because it's not in the Schengen EU. But it's basically an easy crossing. Before Montenegro, we are going to explore the Konavle area, and I'm so fascinated about this area. Genuine products. It's really where you get the fresh ingredients from gardens to the table, and we can enjoy an amazing cooking class with some local folks that will be very entertaining. But also, past the border with Montenegro, and before we check into our hotel, why don't we explore and visit one of my favorite wineries called Savina. Excellent production and stunning view of what will be your next days on the Boca Bay. And here we are in Montenegro, as you can see from the blue dot. It is really close to Dubrovnik, and of course, one and only is absolutely the best place to stay, and we can use it as a base to explore all the wonders of the Boca Bay, but also of Montenegro. And of course, I let you. There are no words to describe those pictures. Those are the things that you are gonna see while sailing with your private boat through the Boca Bay. Remember, it is the most southern fjord in Europe. So you don't need to go and freeze in the northern part of Europe to see a fjord. You can come to the gentle climate of the south and still have the same experience. And of course, there are many ways to explore Montenegro. The roads are not so well curated, let's say. And of course, I would be happy to take you on a vintage car to explore the major sites of Montenegro, but we can also opt for a private boat and sailing through the Boca Bay. And of course, if you are with me, I hope you are not scared of speed, because I'm not an excellent driver. That's what they tell me. But also, there is another way to explore the major sites of Montenegro, because they are not easy to reach. We can absolutely do an helicopter flyover to make sure that you get the best out of this country before, of course, you go back home. Now, I always skip this part. I don't want to talk about your final transfer to the airport, because I know you want to keep dreaming. And I thank you so much for your time. As I mentioned before, this is just 1/10 of what we can put together for you, thanks to the instruction of your travel advisor. So thank you very much for your time. And if you have any question, I'll be happy to answer, of course.
Yeah, so in the bottom, you'll see a Q&A box or a chat box. If you have any questions, please type them in and Alberto will be more than happy to answer them. I don't see any as of yet. But I guess, we just got one. I guess what would be the best time of year to visit Croatia? Is there like a time that you think? I like the shoulder seasons in a lot of instances because there's not as many crowds. But is there a really good time to visit Croatia?
Well, yes, my favorite time is definitely May and early June. And as you say, the shoulder season is absolutely the best. Also, September, October, it's not too crowded, it's not too hot. I would also venture into July, no problem, but I would kind of tend to avoid August. But remember, if you are sailing in August on your private boat or sailing boat or yacht or Turkish gulet, the crowd is not a problem. And not even the heat is a problem, because you are sailing and it's quite a nice climate. So yes, if you are sailing really from late May throughout October, it is great. If you also do land, I would discourage to pick August as your traveling month.
Perfect. And there's a couple of people that are asking how to book a trip with you.
Oh, well, definitely through you. We are only B2B. I mean, a destination management company is only affiliated with a travel agency. And this is our business model. And so contact your travel advisor. I'm sure he's the best.
And to answer that question, when you contact us, we usually have a conversation about, what it is in particular are your interests. I like to ask what you don't like so we can avoid things that might be in that parameter. But we have a really nice conversation to get to know each other. And then I will go to Alberto and his team, relay the information. They come back with an itinerary, and then we collaborate on that until we get it to where you feel it's perfect. And then we assist in booking that.
Also, Lisa, the amount of information that you provide us, usually, whether there are food restriction, religion restriction, mobility problem, I mean, they really give us a treasure of information that help us in agreement with you to create the best travel itinerary for your clients.
Perfect. And then another question is, what are some highlights for families with like mid-age children, not small children, but mid-age children?
Yeah, well, of course, the Dalmatia Islands are quite fun, especially if you can combine some land and some sea experience. We can keep the kids busy for the full week and get them tired by the time you want to enjoy a dinner without be pulling from your sleeves, right? That's our bread and butter. But yes, the Dalmatia Islands are probably the most exciting place for the kids. But also Istria can offer a lot of hiking, outdoor activities, and it's nice because you can also combine it with Venice, for example, or Trieste, which is an easy flight connection from US.
Perfect. And then another person is asking, how many days were the tour that you were describing, or how many days are recommended?
Now, the tour that I've described is 12 nights. But of course, according to your time and your wishes, I would say a minimum of 7, 8 nights would be suggested to visit the most of Croatia. Also, if you want to combine with maybe Montenegro or maybe with the northern part with Slovenia. Also, Istria, you can combine it also with a visit to Slovenia. It's such a tiny country and it's only 1 hour and 30 minutes drive from Istria, so it can make a perfect combination.
Perfect. And then the journey that you took them on, do you have somebody is asking about the approximate cost of something, what that would look like?
Well, that all depends. Of course, I've chosen the best 5-star luxury hotel, but we work with any budget as long as the budget is realistic. That's our philosophy, right, Lisa? And we are local. We are in the country. We go site inspect new properties, all properties all the time to make sure that we are offering the right product. And there are so many small boutique hotel, charming 4-star hotel that are maybe more affordable for sure. So we can really work with any kind of budget as long as it is realistic, of course. And we have several, we have a great portfolio of hotel properties, villas, and also boat. It doesn't have to be a mega luxury yacht. Turkish Gulet is a great value for money. You can have 10 people on this Turkish Gulet, and you can customize a week in the Dalmatia Islands for something like to 2,500 per person. But it's, it depends if you want to include food, if you want to include everything or not. But yeah, there's many options and and many small boutique properties that can bring the price down compared with a 5-star luxury hotel.
Perfect. And then one question that I'll answer is they're asking what number do they call? And that would be our office number, which is 847-882-0400. And then you just ask to speak to an advisor that could help you to work with Alberto. I don't see any other questions. So we'll wait just a couple minutes, but Alberto, thank you so much for spending, I know it's at the end of your day and it's time for wine there, I think.
It's fine for wine and dinner. You know me very well, Lisa.
But I appreciate you taking the time and sharing Croatia with us. And we just appreciate you, and Anna Maria has joined us. It's one of your teams. So we appreciate her also helping to put this all together.
She is the mastermind. I'm just the blah, 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 but I come from Venice, so it's an easy task for me.
Perfect. Well, oh, wait, we got another question. So let me get to that. So are you now on the Euro? Is Croatia on the Euro as far as currency?
That's an amazing question, and I beg your pardon for forgetting this. Yes, there is a lot of vibrant news in our destination since January 1st. Not only the Euro, but there are no longer borders between Slovenia and Croatia. That's why I'm stretching the fact that it's so modular. You have to think out of the box. It's not. I mean, you could visit extensively Croatia, but you could also, plan 2 trips. And one trip would be the northern part, Istria, maybe with Trieste. Have you ever been to Trieste? It's an amazing border Italian city, completely different from all the other Italian city. So you can really, I had, sorry, I tell you, you know, I like to talk, but we had these amazing clients of yours. You remember, they were like doing wine tasting between the Colio region and the Garishka Berda, which is, you know, between Italy and Slovenia. And one winery was in Italy, the other one was in Slovenia, and then the next one was back in Italy. So they were like, at the end of the day, they were making picture crossing, you know, a border that doesn't exist anymore, but they were like so excited about it. So yeah, you can really combine those destinations, and there are no more borders. Going from Venice to my office in Rijeka, it took me 2 hours. Now it takes me 1 hour and 30 minutes. Because there is no border check, and that's the biggest news for Croatia. We are really part of the EU, and we are really excited about it.
Yeah, wonderful. It's a great way to do multi-countries without feeling exhausted.
Exactly. If you have been to Italy many times and you want to, you know, travel, and let me tell you a secret. Those destinations are where the Italians go on their vacation. So there must be a reason. It's really beautiful, and it's really authentic, genuine, and unique. Discover it before it gets too crowded.
Perfect. So, all right. Well, Alberto, go have your wine and your dinner. Thank you again. And thank you everybody for joining us. And if you have any questions or anything that, you know, that we didn't answer, please reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer that. If we don't know the answer, I'm sure Alberto will actually answer my email. So
I'll do right away. Right. I know, otherwise you pick the phone. So
exactly. Exactly. All right. Wonderful. Well, thank you, Alberto, and thank you everybody for joining us. See you next time.
See you next time. Thank you, and looking forward to welcoming you here. Thank you.
Hold on. I think we have another question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So do you since you now are a part of the EU, you use the euro, correct?
Euro. Yeah. Yes. The euro. Absolutely. The euro. Now we pay our bill as well.
There's always bills everywhere. It doesn't matter where.
Exactly. But
all right.
No, thank you.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Alberto. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.